Hey guys, Shimmer G here to bring you a brand new video on Netatoshi Gary, or otherwise known as Crescent Kick. We're going to be calling it Crescent Kick for the sake of this video, just to make it easy. But however, I'm going to show you how to maximize your efficiency with the move, because there's really a lot of confusion around it. Many people aren't using it as well as they could be, or don't understand why things happen the way they do on follow-ups, so I'm gonna go ahead and clarify a few things out of the way for everyone, so it makes it a lot easier, and hopefully everyone improves a bit in the end of the day. So let's get right into it. So let's start out with the move on its own. The move is a command input that requires you to do a reverse quarter circle input. If you need help, I suggest just going into the press start when you're in a regular game, and going into the help menu to show you the actual commands, or in training mode you can press ZR to find the command inputs here as well. This will help you know if you're doing it right or what you need to do to get it out right. Crescent Kick is active on frame 12 and 15-16, making this not really the most ideal move to just randomly throw out in neutral, so I kind of don't advise doing that since it's kind of an overcommitment. However, once the move is finished, you don't have much end lag, so if you want to use it as a move to perhaps bait your opponent into thinking they have the distance or range to attack it, you could go ahead and do that, because that's actually not that bad of a bait. But if they are still just rushing you down and beating your ass over it, then don't do it. So you're asking right now, okay, well, you taught me all the simple stuff, so how do I actually land the move? And that's a good question. But for the sake of this video, I could go on for possibly an hour on the amount of setups and different variations of things that can happen with DI, weight, classes, all that stuff. So we're just gonna stick with the most simplest of ways and do Nair, Prox F tilt, and the Crescent Kick. So that's what we're going to be using for the standard of right now. And I'll get into detail of a few other things later to help you guys understand why it's needed. So once you start getting this combo down, you basically are set up into advantage state, and that's where things kind of start to spiral out of control for a lot of people. So right now, let's go ahead and just go over the simple B&Bs that you can do out of Crescent Kick at low percent. So Nair into Crescent Kick, or Prox F tilt in the Crescent Kick and the down smash, is a true combo, and it does a lot of damage. So if you're going for it, you're gonna get a good reward off of it. This combo is really good against heavyweights, fast fallers, and some middleweights, so try going for it on those characters. This works from 0 to 20%. On heavier characters, you're going to need to adjust on your own. You gotta do some of your own labbing, because I'm not really here to tell you everything. I'm here to give you a brief concept so you can apply it to your play. No one in the world wants to spend all that time talking about how things can go that way, and I sure as hell don't, because I don't have the time to. I'm trying to make this a very comprehensible guide. So going around 20 to 60% on most of the cast, there are mix-ups that can occur, but once again, I'll stick to the true stuff for now. Let's say, okay, well, they're at 45 now. What's my next setup? For now, you can do this. If they press a button, they will get stuffed out from Axe Kick. If they air dodge, they're still technically in disadvantage and you may be able to pull something off. Once again, depends on the character's weight and all that. But yeah, there's not really a guaranteed follow-up out of for Crescent Kick at this percent. So you're really gonna need to start going for strings, which is what I'll go over later, but right now we're doing B&Bs. However, once you get to a higher percent threshold, you will start getting frame advantage from Crescent Kick, and because of that, Ken really starts to excel. So here's where the next input really matters a lot. So doing this now and landing with Nair isn't really as often. So now you're going to be getting your hits like a lot more grounded. And because of that, you're probably going to be throwing out up tilt a lot more. So when you get that up tilt, or if you read something, or if you just get the move in general, you want to go for Crescent Kick after up tilt. And here's why. If you do this, that doesn't work. However, if you do up tilt, it positions them up higher to the point where it does work. And it becomes a true combo that is unescapable. Now, it's very frame tight. You have to be super specific, and you have to be super quick when you're getting these inputs, because otherwise they may be able to get an air dodge. So just, you know, look out. Let's see. There you go. Now it's true. A lot of people ask me, how do I get the dash before getting the up air? And that's really hard to say. I don't know why people keep asking this question. You need to lab it. I'm really unable to help you with this. You guys, I mean, like, I'm not saying all of you, but, like, it's not easy, I understand. But you need to know that once the move, like, just go ahead and do this. Do that. And then once this is here, just press forward at each frame and try and find out. So, as soon as Ken's leg goes all the way down, you could, like, I didn't even think of this before until right now. You could probably just signify when to dash forward as soon as Ken's leg goes back. If that makes it easier for you, but you don't really want to be focusing on that while you're doing that. You want to be focusing on your opponent, because you want to see if they're doing anything unless if the move fails. So just, yeah, always be aware for that. At higher percents, even though that works too, you can also go for Nair. And Nair's not always true, but it is a good mix-up, and I'll go in for why later. But yeah, that's that. So, one big thing I think we all need to factor in a lot is the fact that Rage really has a big impact on how things work. If you're at max Rage with Ken and they're a heavyweight, they're just not in for a good time. There's a lot of better strings you can go for than going for Crescent Kick stuff, but you can still go for it. So, yeah. Just be sure to scale your stuff properly when you're labbing this out. Try and find new stuff on yourself, and yeah, you'll find stuff eventually. See, like, stuff like that exists. So, basically, Rage is able to compensate a lot more for combos, and will, like, Crescent Kick into down smash won't be as true at higher percents because of Rage, but other than that, you get a lot more hits done on your combos. But for the sake of this video, we're just going over the simple stuff. So, now that we've went over all the true combos and all that good stuff, let's go into the actual stuff that makes Ken look really, really cool, which is the strings. That's what everyone looks for. That's where the sauce is at. So, I'm gonna bring in a non-heavyweight character because Bowser kind of just gets shit on in the matchup. So, you remember I was talking about earlier how mid-percent Crescent Kick doesn't really have any true confirms. Well, we can keep them in disadvantage and net an even larger punish than we could have with other moves originally. And because of this, we're going to need to know the 3 options the opponent has at mid-percent to get out of Crescent Kick disadvantage. So, around here, opponent will probably be holding a slightly more away, which does have an impact still, it does. And SDI does as well, but it still won't make things not true. So, it's kind of useless, but it still gives you a little bit of leeway to not get hit by stuff like F Smash or other, like, combo enders. So, the 3 main options they have is air dodge, jump, and attack. So, there's 3 different variations of air dodge they can do. If they do up, they're going to get... Yeah, if they do up, you can throw out something to cover an option and still react to punish that later. If they do the way out of Crescent Kick, however, they'll go around here. So, what's the best thing to do in this situation? Well, you can go ahead and cover more than 2 options at a time whenever you get Crescent Kick advantage. So, for example, doing short hop Nair is actually a good option here. Because not only did you just cover air dodge forward, if they do neutral air dodge, you can still set up pressure. And if they jump, you can basically track them and go for an up air afterwards too. So if they air dodge in, you're not really going to want to do anything. If you want to go for a very hard punish, like what I usually like to do, I'll just wait for the air dodge in by standing still and just short hop quick dare, and you'll get a huge combo off of it. And usually at mid percents, it'll just lead into a death. So around 40-50%, if you get that read, it's kind of over if they're air dodging inwards. Another mix-up is they will go for air dodge, like neutral air dodge, and in that case, you can just do this and hold back and react. So, depending on what the opponent does, you can kind of just know what to do. If you know this is gonna hit, then by all means go for it. But if they aren't, just go ahead and always try and reel it back a bit, because auto turnaround exists, and you basically get either a free cross up or just free pressure in general. So that's really good. Their third option, which usually never works unless if you have a quick up B like Mario or Lucina, is up B, and that's the attack. So I think Clouds might be able to do it, but from what I know, it's frame 3 or 4 up Bs only. So, and you might be a character like Luigi or a character with a really quick nair, so that also exists too. So always look out for that. There's one more thing I'd like to go over with Crescent Kick usage, and that is the fact that you can juggle with the move. I don't see people do this at all, and it's so good. Like, it's so busted too. It's super cool looking, and it nets you so much damage. So what I like to do is at lower percents, if you do set up into this with like a Sour Fair or a Dare perhaps, you can go ahead and go for the first hit of Crescent after procs, and then go for another up tilt, and then go into a P jab, and by that percent it should be true, I'm pretty sure. So always try and set up for that if you can. It's really good. And not only that, it sets up into an array of other things, and it's really not fair. But yeah, other than that, that's really how I like to use Crescent Kick. I think that's really all to cover on it. I'm not sure what the next video will be on, but if you'd like anything specific, just go ahead, leave it in the comment section below. I hope this video was helpful to you all. And yeah, hope y'all have a good one.